Hi, beautiful soul. Welcome back to Grace Over 50, the place where women like us gather not to chase youth, but to embrace everything we've earned with grace, courage, and style. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found us. This is where we talk about the real things, aging, yes, but also becoming. Finding confidence not despite the years, but because of them. Here, we celebrate the beauty that lives in wisdom, softness, and truth. And today, we're talking about something deceptively simple. Something you see every day but may not have truly seen in a long while: your hair. Picture this: it's a quiet morning, you're standing in front of your mirror. The sunlight spills gently through the curtains, casting that soft golden haze only early hours can offer. And you look at yourself. Not just at your face or your figure or the details you usually critique, but at the whole woman looking back. You've lived, you've loved, you've given, grown, and maybe grieved. Your reflection holds all of that, and still she stands. Still radiant, still evolving. But sometimes there's a disconnect. You feel vibrant inside, energetic, inspired, ready for what's next. But the outside, it tells a different story. It looks tired, faded, flat. And often, without realizing it, that gap begins with something as subtle, as overlooked as your hair. Because here's the truth most people forget to tell us: your hairstyle is not just an accessory. It's a message. A mirror. A signal to yourself and the world about how you want to be seen, how you feel inside. After 50, many of us have quietly kept the same cut, the same color, the same habits. Not because they still serve us, but because we've been too busy serving everyone else to stop and ask, is this still me? It might have worked in your 30s. It might have felt right when the kids were little or your career was in full swing. But now you are different, wiser, softer in some ways, sharper in others. You don't need a style that reminds you of who you were. You need one that celebrates who you are, because aging is not about disappearing. It's about becoming more vivid, more you. Your hair can be a part of that becoming. Or it can hold you back. In the next few chapters, we'll explore the hairstyles that might be quietly aging you, not because they're wrong, but because they've stopped working with you. We'll talk about how hair changes with time, its texture, thickness, even how it reflects light. And we'll shine a gentle light on those styles we often keep out of habit, but that might now be dulling your natural glow. But more importantly, we'll walk together toward options that lift your face, flatter your features, and honor your life as it is now, not 10 years ago. Because this isn't about looking younger. It's about feeling more alive, more aligned, more beautifully you. So take a moment, breathe. You've arrived exactly where you need to be, and trust me, this journey, just like your reflection, is about to feel a whole lot brighter. Let's take a gentle breath and step into this next chapter together. We're not here to judge the styles we've worn. We're here to lovingly recognize when something we've held onto, a cut, a color, a habit, is no longer serving the woman we are becoming. It's like clearing a closet. You find an old dress you once adored. It fit perfectly once. It made you feel powerful, playful, beautiful, but now it tugs in the wrong places. It doesn't move the way you do anymore. And it no longer reflects your essence. Hair works the same way. There are certain hairstyles we reach for without question, because they've always been there, because someone once told us they were flattering, because we've grown used to seeing ourselves a certain way. But here's the loving truth: what once felt like self-expression can, over time, become self-limitation. And so today, with compassion and curiosity, we're going to look at 3 hairstyles that might be quietly holding you back. Not because they're bad, not because they lack beauty, but because you, my dear, have evolved and these styles haven't kept up. Let's begin with the first one. Style 1: the overlayered choppy cut, when movement becomes chaos. Layers, they sound like a dream, don't they? They promise volume, movement, dimension. For years, layers were sold to us as the secret to youthful, bouncy hair. But here's the thing: after 50, not all layers are our friends, especially when they're too short, too choppy, or too unblended. Have you ever stood in front of the mirror, brushed your hair, and instead of falling into a soft shape, it flips out, sticks out, or lies flat in awkward, uneven clumps? One side curves in, the other curves out. The back, you try not to look, and what started as fun texture now feels like a daily battle just to look put together. Here's why that happens. As we age, hair tends to thin and become more delicate. And when we add excessive or poorly placed layers, we remove weight from the very areas where we need fullness. The result? A style that looks scattered and messy, not effortless. And worst of all, it drags your face down, instead of lifting your cheekbones or framing your smile. The wrong layers can break up the harmony of your face. They create visual clutter. They highlight the parts of your hair that fight against gravity and your features. They hide your eyes instead of illuminating them. They demand styling tools, products, and time you no longer want to give. And we've been told add layers to make hair look thicker. But too many layers on already fine or thinning hair, it does the opposite. It reveals the scalp. It separates your strands. It says trying too hard, instead of this is me confidently. Though if your cut feels more like a chore than a choice, if it makes your mornings harder and your reflection feel off, that may be your hair gently whispering, let me go. Style 2, jet black hair when bold becomes harsh. There's something undeniably powerful about black hair. It's dramatic, striking, fierce. It says I am here in a way few other colors do. And maybe for years that boldness matched your spirit. Maybe it was your signature, your armor, your strength. But as our skin softens with time, as the warm glow of youth becomes the gentle translucence of grace, jet black can begin to feel like a mismatch. See, black hair creates contrast, strong contrast, and when paired with mature skin, it can exaggerate shadows, highlight every line, call attention to circles under the eyes or uneven tone. Instead of lifting your features, it can sharpen them harshly. Instead of radiance, it gives weight. And the maintenance, you know what I'm talking about. That stark silver line of roots against the darkest dye, it's relentless. It doesn't whisper, it screams, and suddenly you're back in the chair every 2 weeks. Touching up something you never meant to become a full-time job. But beyond the upkeep, the deeper question is this: does this still reflect who I am today? Because your energy might have softened. Your spirit might crave lightness now, not drama. You might be ready to glow, not battle. And the beauty of letting go of jet black isn't in going blonde. It's in embracing harmony. Maybe a soft chocolate brown, maybe warm caramel highlights, maybe gentle face framing tones that bring light, not contrast. You don't need to strip away your identity. You simply invite it to grow alongside you. Because you deserve hair that flatters, not fights, color that reflects your warmth, not your effort, and a style that makes your eyes sparkle again. Style 3, teased volume when lift turns into a helmet. Oh, the 80s, the height, the hairspray, the belief that the bigger the hair, the closer to heaven. We all did it, teasing, backcombing, locking it in with clouds of aerosol. And for years it worked. It gave us confidence, drama, presence. But now, what once lifted you may be weighing you down, because after 50, hair changes. It becomes more delicate. And when we tease and spray and sculpt it into place, we create structure, yes, but often at the cost of softness. And softness is what makes us glow. Over-teased hair looks rigid. It doesn't move. It doesn't catch the light. It can make our face look smaller, rounder, or tired because the proportions are off. It reads less like I'm polished and more like I'm stuck in time. And emotionally, let's be honest, it's exhausting, that effort, that ritual, that feeling of needing to control something that refuses to be natural. But you don't need height to have presence. You don't need spray to have power. You don't need to recreate a version of yourself from decades ago. You just need to soften, to move, to let your hair fall where it wants. Gently, gracefully, freely. There are better ways to create volume, lighter layers, root-lifting mousse, soft rollers. Even air-dried waves can bring movement without effort, because the goal isn't to impress, it's to express, and nothing expresses grace better than simplicity. Closing this chapter gently. So my dear friend, if you saw yourself in any of these styles, the scattered layers, the harsh black, the rigid crown, know this: you're not doing it wrong. You're simply ready for something more aligned. Something more you. And the beauty of being over 50 is this: you get to choose again. You get to let go without guilt and step into something that makes you feel lighter, brighter, freer. In the next chapter, we won't just talk about what to avoid. We'll explore the styles that lift, flatter, and celebrate who you are right now, because you are still radiant. And your hair, it's ready to follow your lead. So here we are, we've looked at what no longer works. The styles that drag us down, dull our glow, and make us feel like we're working against ourselves instead of with ourselves. Now let's pivot. Let's talk about what does work. Not for who you used to be, but for the woman you are now, the one who's grown, who's shed expectations, who no longer seeks approval but lives in alignment with her truth. Your hair should match that, it should reflect your ease, your softness, your quiet power. So let me share with you 3 modern, low-maintenance, effortlessly beautiful hairstyles that work with your features, with your lifestyle, and with the grace that you carry today. 1. The soft bob, effortless elegance at every age. The word bob might make you think of something blunt, sharp, severe, but this isn't that. This is the soft bob. It's gentle, it moves. It frames your face like a silk scarf in the wind, subtle, intentional, and deeply feminine. This cut typically falls somewhere between your chin and your collarbone, and the magic, it's in the layers. Not harsh or choppy, but light, blended, sculpted to follow the natural movement of your hair. Why does it work so well after 50? Because it does what we need without asking for drama. It lifts the jawline softly, creating a sense of lift without pulling. It gives structure without stiffness. It's low effort but high impact. If your hair has thinned over time, as many of ours have, the soft bob creates the illusion of fullness without volume tricks or teasing. It adds dimension and weight exactly where you want it, around the sides of the face, while keeping the overall look light and fresh. And the best part, it grows beautifully. If you skip a trim for a month or 2, it still looks chic. If you air dry it or let it fall naturally, it still looks intentional. If you want to dress it up for dinner or smooth it out for a meeting, it plays along. It's the kind of haircut that works with your energy, not against it, and emotionally. So many women describe this cut as freeing, because it feels like a return to something simple, a letting go of all the old effort, a haircut that no longer shouts but speaks, and in that simplicity is power. 2. The textured lob, light, lively, and incredibly you. Maybe short hair isn't your thing, maybe you've worn your hair long your whole life. Maybe the thought of cutting it above your shoulders feels not quite you. That's okay. There's a middle path, and it's called the textured lob or long bob. And trust me, it might be your new best friend. This style usually hits around the shoulders, sometimes just past. And it's shaped with soft, subtle layers that give it life. No harsh angles, no overstyling, just movement, softness, quiet beauty. The textured lob is universally flattering. It elongates the neck, frames the face, lifts the energy without trying too hard, and it's especially perfect for aging hair. Why? Because long, heavy hair can start to pull the face downward. It drags, it hides, but the lob lightens everything up. It keeps the length you love while still opening your face, and it moves beautifully. Even the slightest wave or bend catches the light and creates softness. If your hair is fine, it gives body. If your hair is thick, it releases weight. It's not too short to pull back, not too long to overwhelm. It's also versatile. Wear it wavy, wear it sleek. Tuck one side behind your ear, throw it in a low ponytail or a soft, messy bun. Add a clip, let it fall. It plays well with accessories, with scarves, with hats. It's a hairstyle that doesn't demand a look, it supports yours. And for women transitioning to gray, it's a dream. The texture and the cut blends beautifully with dimensional color. It softens regrowth lines, it adds depth where pigment is fading, but above all, it feels modern, not trendy, not edgy, just quietly current. The kind of style that says, yes, I've lived, and I've never felt more like myself. 3. Curtain bangs with soft layers, framing the face with grace. Let's talk about bangs. I know, the trauma of past fringe mistakes is real. We've all had that one bang disaster that took half a year to forgive. But hear me out. Curtain bangs are not those bangs, they are soft, grown up, effortless, they part down the middle or just slightly off to the side, and they fall like gentle drapes on either side of your face, framing you, not hiding you. What makes them magical after 50? They soften everything. They skim over the forehead, gently diffusing lines. They draw attention back to your eyes, your sparkle, your stories. They create a visual lift to the face without pulling anything tight. They blend beautifully with soft layers around the cheekbones and jawline, creating dimension without weight. And here's the best part, their low commitment. If you don't like them, they grow out gracefully into face-framing layers. If you want them out of the way, you can pin them back, clip them, let them merge into the rest of your hair. They work with straight hair, wavy hair, even curls. And when paired with a bob or lob, they elevate the whole look, like the final touch on a beautiful painting. Curtain bangs don't scream trying to be younger. They whisper, I'm still curious, I'm still evolving, I'm still allowed to play. And that kind of energy, that's what keeps us radiant. beyond the cut, what these styles really represent. These hairstyles are not just about looking good, they're about feeling seen, they're not about reversing time. They're about respecting it, they're not about erasing age, they're about embracing grace, because you don't need to be younger to be beautiful, you just need a style that aligns with your truth. And these styles, they give you freedom. They reduce the pressure, they invite lightness, movement, and joy back into your daily reflection. They're soft because you've grown softer, they're strong because you've earned your strength, and they're beautiful because so are you. In our final chapter, we'll bring all of this together: the letting go, the becoming, the celebration, because hair is never just hair, it's how we see ourselves when no one else is looking, and how we choose to shine when everyone is. Let's walk that last part of the journey together. Let's pause for a moment, take a slow breath, close your eyes if you'd like, and bring to mind the woman you see every day in the mirror, not the one you compare, not the one you critique, the real one, the one with stories behind her eyes. The one who's walked through fire and laughter and change and still stands tall. You know her, you are her. And this journey we've taken together through styles that no longer serve into choices that finally do was never just about hair. It was about her, it was about you. Because for too long, society has told us that after 50 we should shrink, that we should blend into beige, that we should tone it down, cut it off, cover it up, stop caring. Or worse, start pretending we're someone we're not. But what if we chose something different? What if, instead of chasing youth, we chased authenticity? What if the goal wasn't to rewind time, but to stand fully, fiercely, beautifully in our now? Because the truth is, every decade you've lived has added to your beauty, not subtracted from it. Every laugh line, every silver strand, every scar. They don't dull you, they define you. They are proof that you've lived. So why not choose a hairstyle that honors that? That lifts your face because it lifts your spirit. That frames your smile because it reflects your joy. That lets you walk into the room and feel not younger, but lighter, more you, more alive. That's what this is really about. It's not about soft bobs or textured lobs or curtain bangs. Those are just tools, beautiful tools, yes. But the power was never in the haircut. It was in the woman who chose it. You see, style after 50 isn't about looking a certain way. It's about feeling in alignment, feeling whole, feeling like the person in the mirror finally matches the person you've become on the inside. And that changes everything. Because when you choose yourself truly, unapologetically, you start showing up differently, you stop hiding, you start glowing, your energy shifts, your confidence softens but deepens, and the world notices. Not because your hair is trendy, but because you are magnetic. You become the woman other women look at and say, she knows who she is, she isn't trying too hard, she's just herself. And it's beautiful. That's what I want for you, not youth. Not perfection, but presence, hair that moves when you move, color that harmonizes with your skin, styles that whisper, yes, I've lived and I love who I am becoming. So let me ask you gently but clearly, is it time? Time to stop defaulting to the same haircut you've had for decades? Time to stop covering gray with fear instead of intention? Time to let go of the styles that were never truly yours, just what you were told to wear? Is it time to finally ask, what do I want to see when I look in the mirror? Not what your daughter thinks, not what the stylist suggests, what you want, what makes you feel like home, because your beauty isn't behind you, it's here. In this season, in this woman, in you, and I promise when you align your outer style with your inner truth, you will not only look radiant, you'll feel it, every day, in every room you enter. In every whisper you send to the world that says, I'm not fading, I'm becoming. So take the step, book the appointment, try the change, not because you have to, but because you deserve to, because the woman in the mirror, she's worth it. She always was. If this message spoke to you today, if it made you pause, smile, or see yourself differently, I hope you'll carry that feeling with you. And if you know another woman who needs to hear this, send it her way. We're stronger together. Here at Grace Over 50, we believe every season of womanhood holds magic. And we're here to help you rediscover yours. Thank you for spending this time with me. You are radiant, you are enough, and the best, it's still to come.